Good afternoon, I'm Georgia Lupton with 2NURFM Hunter News. A pursuit through Mayfield last night has left a police officer injured. The pursuit through the back streets of Mayfield ensued after a driver of a sedan failed to stop for a random breath test. The officer was injured after the driver of the sedan reversed into the police vehicle. Chief Inspector Terry Burns says the police officer only suffered minor injuries.
And unfortunately, a police sergeant suffered some minor lower back injuries as a result. He's believed to be quite fine. He's just suffering some slight lower back pain. Fortunately, that's all it is.
The federal government will spend over $300 million to reduce the use of the illicit drug ice, some of which will be allocated to the Newcastle region. The funding will go towards reducing the demand for ice and reducing the harms caused by the drug. CEO of Hunter New England Central Coast Primary Health Network, Richard Nankervis, says he is confident the funding will benefit the Newcastle region.
We're really keen to work with local communities to make sure that we're addressing the issue of ice in a much better way, and that's what we're keen to do. Very positive for local communities. We think it should have some good outcomes.
Meanwhile, chairperson of the Newcastle Community Drug Action Team, Tony Brown, says he welcomes the news of the funding.
Well, it's great news for the country that the federal government has announced $300 million towards combating the ice problem in the area, and this ticks all the boxes in terms of addressing the issues of prevention, treatment and recovery.
Attempts are being made for the Hunter region to increase its trade links with the European Union. It is hoped such a move, along with the revised innovation policy, will create jobs and boost economic prosperity in the region. Regional Development Australia's Hunter CEO Todd Williams says there are many benefits to increasing the region's trade links.
By doing a smart specialisation is about your competitive advantages into the future, and of course it's all about growing industry and also making sure that we are at the forefront of having new industry. And of course, the more we trade, the more people can be employed and jobs we can create. So that's the primary driver of undertaking the smart specialisation.
Calls are being made to the Environment Protection Authority to investigate the health risks of the Rutherford Stink. The unpleasant smell which lingers around the Rutherford and Aberglasslyn areas has been a concern for residents for a number of years. EPA Regional Manager for the Hunter, Adam Gilligan, says the EPA has been working towards determining the cause of the smell.
The EPA has actually been involved in significant works with the Rutherford community to try and identify and address the odour issues in Rutherford. A significant amount of money has been spent on studies and work with the community to try and identify the main sources and to take steps to address those. And we have made significant progress, but there's obviously need for more work because the odour is continuing.
Concerning reports last week regarding possible contamination from the Weedkiller 2,4-D on vineyards near Denman has prompted more Hunter vignerons to make similar claims. The source of the contamination is unknown, with various authorities allegedly denying their use of the herbicide. Clarencetown vigneron Ross Arnott says the effects of the herbicide on his vineyards have been damaging.
At the present time, the grapes that comes in knocks the fruit that's trying to set, kills any fresh leaves that are trying to set, and they curl up in a particular crowning fashion. It's called crown leaf curl, and 2,4-D is the only herbicide that apparently does it.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
The Newcastle Jets are hoping a 9-day break between games will help them recover from their defeat to Sydney FC on Friday. The Jets were without captain Nigel Bogard and Brazilian midfielder Leonardo for the match, but coach Scott Miller is hopeful both will be back for Sunday's home clash with Melbourne City.
Not only will that allow Nigel an extra 3 or 4 days recovery, it will allow Leonardo recovery time as well, and in general the entire team to freshen up.
Newcastle hockey player Matt Dawson has scored for Australia in their 2-1 defeat against Belgium in the World Hockey League final overnight. The Newcastle Norths player slotted Australia's second goal in the 37th minute from a penalty corner. Maitland's Simon Orchard was also part of the Australian lineup. And in water polo, the Hunter Hurricanes men's side lost their 2 games over the weekend, falling to the Victorian Seals. That's Sport Time, Annabelle Regan.
2NURFM News Time is 12:10.